Okay, y'all, we're going to be working on 2010 Subaru Forester 2.5 today, okay? What we're going to be doing is we're going to be changing the timing belt. I'm going to show you the easy way. We're doing it while it's in the car. There's no reason to pull this thing out. That's kind of dumb saying, but okay. Either way, we'll show you the easiest way possible and how to do it correctly. Let's give it a shot. Okay, for starters, I done lost it, but either way, pull your clips out right here. Get this piece out of the way. I just throw it back there. Not that rough though. It sounded rough, but it wasn't. Then what we're going to do is we're going to remove our water reservoir. Just pull your tube. Then you're going to pop it loose with a screwdriver right here. So all I do is I take it, go down in there, be easy. Don't bust your radiator. I ain't going to be able to do it one-handed, I don't think. And just pop it loose. Okay, so it's one-handed. Then it just slides out. You're going to set it up. I just pop it out, and we're just going to set it back in here. Straight up, so that way it don't leak, because it does have a weak pole right here at the top. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to loosen our belts. Get these off here. This one does not have a tensioner, so yeah, that one's going to be a fun one to get off there. So I won't be able to show that to y'all. But we're going to go ahead and take off these belts. This one, we'll just have to, what we're going to do is we're going to roll it. We're going to put a 22 millimeter on down there on the crank pulley. And we're going to take it and we're going to roll it with the ratchet and pull it towards the front of the vehicle, and it will finally come off. But that's how we're going to do it, okay? They do make a tool for this that actually brings it off here, but this is the way I do it, and I put it back on the same way. I'll push backwards instead of forward. Okay, y'all, this is kind of habit, so I forget a few things. Either way, I didn't forget to do it, I just do it. Okay, either way, you got a bolt here, you got to break this one loose, 12 millimeter. You got to break this one loose, which is 12 millimeter, and I forgot I already pulled off the top cover, which just pops up, and I threw it over there somewhere because I knew I was going to be working on it, and a 10 millimeter bolt here to get that off. So then you take this one and you just screw it and then knock it down, and then you can actually pull off your belt. So now we're going to do the back one that I won't be able to show y'all. Actually, never mind. I forgot I had this little doohickey thingy-majigger. I can actually show you all. So what we do is I just pull it with my finger. Don't get your finger caught in it. It's going to suck if you do. This will take a minute to get off here. We're just going to keep on pulling and pulling. You'll finally rearrange on the back side. Would have been easier if I moved the fans first, y'all, but that's okay. We're already started. It don't matter. Don't smash your fingers up. Is it moving? It ain't moving on the bottom. Okay, so we'll just keep on going. So I'm just going to pull it harder. Don't use a screwdriver unless you're planning on replacing the belt. And see, it does come off. I have pinched my fingers before, so y'all watch it. And you put it back on the same way. And there's your belt. Just throw it up there, you're good to go. And now what we're going to do, we're going to leave the power steering pump, alternator, air compressor, all that's going to stay there, okay? We're going to remove our overheating fans. These are a little bit of a pain to get out of here because they have the big nubs. The big nubs right there sticking out. Some of them have the short ones, which are real easy to get out. So let's get this on out of here. And these ones just have two 10 millimeter bolts. Now these Subarus make a convenient spot for all your bolts. Let me show you where it's at. It's right there on the Foresters, and you're good to go. Just throw all your stuff up there. Won't fall through, no holes on that side. Okay, see that one's completely loose. I don't know if y'all can see down in there, but we're going to unclip the fan. And then we're going to have this other one. Oh wow, that's way down in there. Y'all can't see that. There we go. Okay, and then this one is right there. So we're just going to unclip it. Now this one's going to be the, oh come on. This one does not want to come loose, y'all. What is your malfunction? Huh, maybe it's me. I ain't hold my mouth right, y'all. There we go, got it. It was me, it was me. Okay, now this one, so there's a heat shield. Goes across, has two 10 millimeters on it, I'm pretty sure. Get them out, get that out of your way because you have to get these transmission lines that run across. I can't really show you, but they're down there and they pop loose off the fan. I figure I kind of try to show y'all. Here's where one of the 10 millimeters is anyways. I don't feel like getting underneath the car, so I'm going to do it from the top. I recommend going underneath. Well, yeah, you can go underneath and do it. It'll be all right. I just don't feel like getting down there. And you can use air if you want, but that's just more of a in the way. It's better off just use a ratchet on this. That way it ain't in your way. I might get it, y'all. Now I gotta figure out where the other bolt is. Oh, I know it's on the other side. Oh, yep, too old for this bolt. Okay, let's see. Where is it at over here? It should be right there. Okay, can't really see y'all, but where my finger is where it is at. So let me get down there and get it. This one's a little bit easier than the other side. Well, if you had the right socket on there, I got a deep wheel instead of a shallow one, but this works. You need deep wheel on the other side because it recesses back in there a pretty good ways. And then it just falls off. And then you can get your fans out. I kind of got ahead of myself that time. But then you can get your fans out. I don't think this one will drop down. No, because of the big butt on it. It's got a big butt. Okay. So this one, it is easier to remove the hose right here. But we're going to take it and we're going to pry back on it and try to get it out of there. So, are we going to take it out the other side? I don't know what we're doing. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to remove a 10 millimeter here, 10 millimeter here, and we're going to go ahead and pull this fan and get it out of our way. Where'd the ratchet go, y'all? Seriously, where's my ratchet? Oh, I laid it up there. Okay. All right, now we're gonna pull our fan out. Have to be in this hose a little bit. Oh yeah, I forgot. Transmission lines have to be disconnected. Not really disconnected, they have to be pulled loose out of a place they're in. I can't really show y'all, but you'll see it when you're underneath the car looking. I just know where it's at, so I head for it. All right, now we're gonna pull our hose just a little bit, try to get this thing out of here. It's a tight squeeze, y'all, it's a tight squeeze. Just don't bust your radiator doing this. My hose still stuck down there. Okay, got it. And it slides out right there. Now we're just gonna put that one up there. And we got one more we gotta do. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull this thing up through here and try not to damage your radiator too much. It will slide past the hose. Hold on, I had it here. Looking for my screwdriver, it's right in front of my face. You can take your screwdriver and you can pop it past there a little bit. Just make sure you don't tear up your hose when you're doing this. I do not like these fans on these ones, y'all. You're going to put it back in the same way. There we go. Fan is out. And radiator is not damaged. Yes, we do have some little marks on there, but I think they were from last time or something. Who knows? Okay, now what we're going to do is we got 10 millimeters, okay, all the way around here. So you got 10s. We're going to get all of them out. It goes all the way around the cover, over to this side, up, and all the way over through here. Now, you're going to have to remove this damper wheel pulley to get, I think, 2 of these. So we'll get that off there, but right now let's go ahead and get all these 10s and go from there. We're also going to have to remove the oxygen sensor wire right here, because it's in the way of this cover coming off. Ain't in the way a whole lot, but we're gonna get it out of the way because it's easy to unclip. Now I usually do that and I'll just run it with my fingers and get them out that way. You can use air ratchet, just be careful because you can bust the plastic. This one's already been apart, so impact is definitely, a very, very small impact is definitely the way to go, so that way you don't bust your plastic, because a lot of times this plastic will break. All right, we're gonna buzz on through here and get the rest of them over through here. We're gonna go ahead and pull off this cover. It's a 2-piece on this one. I just dropped the bolt, and right there's our cover. Now what we're gonna do to break this loose, we got our 22 millimeter. We're going to put it on the back side of the hose right there. And then we're just gonna take a piece of pipe. This is gonna be our breaker bar. We're gonna put it on there. But another thing you gotta do is back in here, which I ain't gonna be able to show you all very good. Okay, but down in here, you can take a tool. Either way, there's an access point down in there. I'm gonna take this tool, y'all can't see it. I'm gonna take this tool right down in there. Make sure you don't tear nothing up, y'all. That wire out my way. And we are going to put it right down in there. I know where it's at, but I mean, this is how I break them loose. So what we're going to do is we're going to spin it till it locks in there. And it is where all the torque converter bolts are. It will find a spot. I don't think I'm up high enough. It will find a spot. There it is. Once you're locked in there, you're good to go. Then well, apparently I wasn't locked in there. Let's try it again, y'all. There we go. Let's see if that's it. Here we go. We're going to break it loose. Okay, that is it. Okay, so that's what we do. That hole is right there somewhere. Y'all ain't gonna be able to see that one, but you can remove all that and do it that way if you want, but I mean, I just stick it down in there and try to find it. Been doing this for a while, so I pretty well know where it is. Too long, y'all, too long. So then your bolt's loose right here, so you can get off your tensioner. Now I'm gonna show you something also, or not your tensioner, your damper wheel pulley. I'm also gonna show you a way to get this off here if it's stuck. So what you do is you grab your 2 crowbars, and I just put it right behind that pulley right there. Don't hit it too hard up against your alternator. You take the other one right here, and you're gonna wobble it off there, okay? The camera might be jarring y'all, but you just work it, and see how it wiggles. Now I don't want it to hit the floor and bust, so we're gonna get it out of there. But right there is how you do it. I didn't have the camera correctly, did I? But now we're broke loose. Y'all get the point. Get the pulley off there. Set it over the side. You're good to go. Now we're gonna get to cover the rest of the way off here. Okay, whenever y'all are doing this, there is one hidden, actually 2. This one and this one is underneath the power steering pump. This one's really hidden, so do not pull on this cover whenever you get them all loose. Just, you know, pull a little bit. Don't pull like you're gonna break it, because it will break very easily. Now what we're gonna do, we are not doing front main or cam seals because they already been done on this. I do recommend you all doing the front main and cam seals. The only thing you want to do a little bit different is you're gonna have to pull off the cam bolts, and you're gonna have to pull off this pulley right here. Now you gotta be careful on this one because it's got little tiny teeth that will break. If it's stuck, you'll have to work it off there. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we are going to take loose, we're gonna take this one completely out, we're gonna break this one loose, and we're going to take off the tensioner after that. Now this pulley over here we can leave because we're just doing a timing belt and this tensioner right here that apparently is bad. That's what we're heading for, is the tensioner actually on this one. But I got to line back up timing belt, show y'all how to do that anyways. Okay, another thing I meant to mention, before you pull off this timing belt, okay, get your bolts broke loose, that's fine. Put back in this 22 millimeter, okay. You need to take, this is one of your alignment, or one of your timing marks right here. It lines up with this little notch right here. Go ahead and rotate all this till it lines up. And this one lines up right here. You have a line right there with a line right there. And on the other side, you'll have a line, and it can't really see. Let me see if I can get down in there and show y'all. Let's show y'all anyways. That little line lines up with just that with that piece of metal right there. See how those 2 layers come together? That apparently is your other mark. Very, very good design on these Subarus, doing that stupid. But they should at least put a mark there so a lot of people would know anyways. Once you get all that, then pull off your belt. This is going to make it a lot easier to put everything back together. All right, y'all, I want to show you all this. Oh, that ain't the right pulley. Hold on. We put this other one. This one's the one that came off the car anyways. So hopefully y'all can see this. This is what happens to these. The hydraulic fluid will start coming out on these. This thing was dry as a bone whenever I put it in here, and now it is a piece of junk. I don't know what brand it is. There's the part number, so don't buy it. All it did was sit on the shelf. It was brand new, y'all. You can see there ain't hardly any marks on it. There's a little bit right there where it was actually causing that noise. But there you go. So we're going to put on another one. Okay, now we got time belt off. I'm just going to show you everything real good while we're down in here. You have a time mark right there. I don't know why it's marked pink. You have another one right there. You line those 2 up. Okay, this one's real bad about kicking out. Then check your pulleys, make sure they're all good. We got our tensioner off. I've tightened this, and I'm glad I found that. The little rubber piece that goes to, well, I can't get it out of there yet. Either way, that goes to the tensioner. It fell down in there. You can access your water pump, but you have to take off this pulley, access it there, and take loose your hose. There's 2 10 millimeters right there. You can actually do that. Then you get your water pump off. We ain't doing that. And the pulley over here, pull off that crank before you get off the timing belt, or cam bolt, before you get off the timing belt, and I use an impact to bust these loose, makes it a lot easier. Then you get to your cam seal. Front main, this pulley is a pain. Sometimes it breaks those little teeth off right there. That's about, I think, a $60, $80 mess up. So to get to your front main. You need to pull that off, work with it very easy. Use these flat edges right here with a screwdriver to pop those off to get to it. Check all your pulleys like I said. There's another pulley there. Let me show you the other timing mark right here. That time, come on, focus, man, focus. Let's see if we can get it focused. There we go. That time mark is to be lined up right there. Okay, then we're going to go to the other side over here. I want to get some light on this situation, y'all. This ain't working. Okay, and this timing mark is already lined up. It lines up with that line right there. That is not a mark. That is where two pieces of metal come together. You got your valve terrain and your head. Okay, that's where that comes together right there. So line up those two time marks. Now I'm going to show you what you do on the timing belt. Okay, on the timing belt you have dots going all the way across. This is a brand new timing belt, but it kind of wore down a little bit already. This is a Subaru genuine, okay? See those arrows right there? That's the direction the motor goes. I used to have a lot more arrows than this on this. And so it lines up on the motor just like the motor is sitting right there, okay? Now, those three dots, all those dots go on the center one to the crank pulley. Line on this side goes, and that lines up on the camshaft pulley. And then you have one more right here, right there, that line. It lines up on that camshaft pulley. Okay, y'all, whenever y'all do the tensioners on these and you press them in to actually do this, you can put it on a vise with a C-clamp, a little hard with a C-clamp, but I usually just put them in the vise and just say heck with it. But they say to sit them up straight, so I'm going to show you what the directions say anyways. Set them up straight, put your pin in there, and that's how you do it. Now, they come, when they're brand new, they come with a pin already in it, so you ain't got to do nothing. Well, actually, yeah, they tell you to take the pin out, press it in a couple times, and then go that route to get the air out of the system. So this one actually is a Japan original part, so we might be good on this one. I definitely recommend buying your original Subaru part, okay? It will say Japan on it. And this one has a little bit of rust where it's been sitting, but we should be good. Just press it down with that. Now we're going to put it back in the car and get this thing fired up, y'all. Okay, another thing I need to show y'all, if you all are just doing whatever, you have one washer on the front. Sometimes they come and they have both washers on one side. That ain't how it works. Bolt, washer, and then rubber piece. That's how you have these. Okay, now we're going to get it put in the car. Okay, y'all, once you get the belt on there, okay, you're going to take the last pulley, which is this one, and that's when you put it down here on the bottom. Makes it a lot easier to do it this way, okay? Now, another thing you want to do, once you get that pulley on, before you relieve this tension, make sure all your timing marks are up and lined. See how that line, hold on a minute, y'all. See how that line lines up with you got all three marks lined up, okay? That's a reference is all that is. So either way, you get all them lined up. Now, they can be off slightly, especially on the junk Daycos. This one, and if we can focus, okay, there we go. And then that one is all lined up, okay? There you go. Now let's go to the third over on the other side one more time. Show you what it all looks like anyways is why I'm doing this after it's all together. And then there is your lines. You got the one on top, on the belt, right there, and then it lines up. See how it's slightly off right there? Now when we tension up this belt and get this bottom pulley on here, it will line everything up just about perfect, okay? If it's off a notch, y'all are going to have a problem. But it's time to put on this pulley and pull the tensioner and everything. Okay, y'all, as far as all these, every one of these idler pulleys and the tensioner pulley bolt is at 29 foot-pounds. Go ahead and tighten this one at 29 foot-pounds because sometimes they're loose. Double check all your timing belt marks. Make sure everything is lined up still. And if it is all lined up, you all can pull the pin, okay? And all you do is just twist a little bit, pull it out. Now what I do is I'll take it. Let's get this down in here and get it focused. I will take it and I will take this and I will smack it down a little bit. Not real hard. There you go. Now you know you're tensioned on startup. It will not jump time. If you do not do that, chances are it might jump time. So there you go. Now we're going to put it all back together. And this bolt right here, whatever you do, do not over torque any of these, okay? Because this one is the only one you can replace the bracket. This bracket right here is bad about stripping, but you can replace it easily. This one goes into the water pump. This one goes into the block, and this one goes into the block. So if you do any one of those, you will have to put a helicoil kit in after you drilled out, okay? So let's not do that. 29 foot-pounds. I ain't had them strip it. 29 foot-pounds at least somebody else has messed with it. Let's get on this timing cover. Now we're going to put on our damper wheel pulley. I did not put on that cover yet. I'm going to put on the damper wheel pulley first. I'll show you why. What we're going to do is we're going to turn over this engine. I already done turned it over, but we turned it over about, 1-2 times. What we're going to do is we're going to check tension on the belt to make sure that pulley is working, the tensioner pulley. This belt is way tighter with this tensioner than with that other piece of junk that broke on this. Now what I'm going to do is go ahead and put on this timing cover. Okay, now chances are you'll have to break loose back the damper wheel pulley bolt right there. This one right here, I just use a wrench, y'all, and just tighten it back up. Now when you do these, do not over tighten these, just snug them. That's all you do. These will not back out, never had any back up out, at least you don't tighten it, But either way, just snug them all the way around. You can use a wrench on this one unless you really want to use a socket and you'll knock this out. I definitely recommend doing this by hand because I have had them come in and people have broken these bolts left and right, stripped threads, mainly the water pump down here and a couple in the block here and there. A lot of times these bolts will actually rust and I'll have to bust them out there if they're high mileage. But snug them by hand. Don't run no air ratchets. Do what you want. I'm just recommending so that way you don't damage your engine and all goes together right. Now, when I take these out, usually I have to use an impact to bust them out of there if they're high mileage. Low mileage, they come right loose, so you don't break your timing cover. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead, we're going to lock back up. We're going to put a 22 millimeter in our torque wrench on this, and we're going to lock it back up down in there again, and we're going to torque this down to 133 foot-pounds. So here's how I have it set up. I use my right arm on this one, right hand, and I push it that way, of course, to tighten it. And then the other one, I hold it with my left hand and hold it right here so that way it don't flip out, and I push down on it. So you can imagine I'm going from the passenger side, because I'm right-handed. Do it. I guess if you're left-handed, do it from the other side. Now you need to do it from the passenger side because the access port is on this side of the intake. Either way, just hold that real good, and then torque it down. 133 foot, I can't even talk, y'all. 133 foot-pounds. Now we're going to go ahead and get these belts on. Actually, I recommend you all also, after you torque this down, take this and rotate the engine at least 3 times to make sure your valves are not hitting, just in case the belt slipped and jumped before you fire this thing up, because turning this, it will actually lock up or you'll feel it hit something, not a compression stroke. You'll feel it actually hit something. A lot of times it will stop and lock up, okay? So definitely recommend turning this engine over 2 to 3 times with the torque wrench, y'all. Now let's get the belts on. Actually, we're going to get on the overheating fan on this side first, get it down in there, and then we're going to put on the belts, and then we're going to put on our other overheating fan and then our exhaust shield. So let's get this started. First overheating fan. Figured I better show you the difference so you know which side these actually go on. This one has the reservoir port, which is the driver's side, and then right here is what your transmission lines go in that I was having an issue with. This side does not have it. It just has a spot there and nothing up here, y'all. Also on these, make sure these click, okay? If that does not click, it will pop. Make sure you pull back out on it. If not, you'll overheat the engine and blow the head gas, because we don't want to do that, y'all. Just make sure it clips. This one is in. Both bolts are tight. Now what we're going to do is we are going to put on the air conditioner belt, okay? Make it a lot easier doing this, considering it's supposed to be a tensioner right here, but they went cheap. The bolt holes are there for it, but they did not put it on. You can go buy one, I guess, for an older one that should work. I don't see why it wouldn't. But we're going to install this, and yeah, I guess I'll show you installing it. Okay, this is going to be some shaky video, but I figure y'all would like to see this being installed anyways. So we're just going to put it on the outer one there. Well, we might put it in a little bit. Let me see if I can get, nah. We'll put it on the outer one, try to get it installed. Let me show you the outer side of the pulley. Not all the way, just some. So then what we're going to do is we're going to take our thumb right here, and we're going to start installing this. So what I'm going to do, after you get your finger pinched a couple times, this belt don't look that good. We're going to put a new one on. Once you get it, all right, got me. Once you get it, it will go. Okay, we're going to push a little harder on this, y'all. There we go. See, went on there. Now, once you get it, we're going to go ahead. Like I said, it's going to be a shaky video, y'all. We're going to pull it on over. See right there, pushing with my finger. It's definitely possible, y'all. Okay, now, thing is, we have to get this bottom one down here on now. So we're going to shove it that way, and what I try to do is just take them both so this one stays, and try to, I don't know if y'all can see what I'm doing there, taking those fingers pushing and pushing on top ones too. And it'll finally run it on over. Because if not, this top one will come back off, because look, see how far over that pulley is? So you got to fight with it for a little bit. I just about got it. It'll run me out of breath here in a minute probably. Did I get it? I think I got it, y'all. I think I got it. Man, it's gonna be a shaky video, y'all. Okay, so we might just cut that part out a little bit, but either way, there it is. I don't know, we'll leave it on there that way y'all can see. Okay, so it's a little rough. You'll pinch your fingers, whatever. We're gonna buy a new belt for this here later and replace it. I don't know if y'all can see that, but it's kind of chafered up a little bit right there. But that's for the AC, we're good, as long as it don't fly off and lose alternator belt and all that. Now it is time to put on the alternator belt. This one's very simple. You got to have the belt for it, okay? Now this, I like these Bando belts. I recommend these. They are real good belts. I had one on my air compressor and it lasted for probably about, I think, 15 years. Either way, once you have everything all loose on this one, it's simple. Look, everything's lined up, good to go. Very easy to do on this one. Then all you're going to do is you're going to put your tension on here as soon as we find our socket. Okay. Let's use a long extension on this one, y'all. And I usually just rotate it like that real quick. Try and go halfway slow so that way your camera ain't shaking, but it's still going to shake, y'all. Okay, I'm going to just go for it. Well, somebody put a fan in the way. Let's not do that. Okay, let's see how tight that belt is. You don't want to have a lot of deflection, but you also don't want to have a lot because you don't want to tear up the bearings in your alternator or your power steering belt, but you don't want to slip either. So there, well, right there. Okay, now if you put on a brand new belt, you'll have to go in here and you'll have to retighten it. Let me show y'all. Here's how much deflection I put on these. They do make a tool that shows the amount of deflection. It's probably a piece of junk. But either way, then after you do that, we're tight. We're going to tighten it up right here. Do not ever tighten that one. It will strip out your bolt for your alternator, okay? Be careful not to bust this right here. Just hold up on it a little bit. Snug it real good, okay? Don't. There's a torque spec on this, but I just tighten them. I'm used to it. This one you can tighten up. Worst you can do is strip out the back bolt. That's actually there, a nut. Well, it's sort of a nut. It's a weird looking thing. I tighten it pretty good. Look how far we got. Now, we're going to put on the overheating fan, y'all. Now, this one can be a little difficult. Just bend your hose a little bit right there. Uh-oh, what'd I do? We're hitting everything. Okay, so what we're going to do, see how we kicked that? Here's why we kicked it. Look, down there, we're going to, why is that light flickering? Hold on, let me show you. We're going to put that underneath that hose, the air conditioning line. And then, we're going to take it over here and we're going to pull this hose. And we're just going to kind of slide it down. Whoops. Slide it down in there. Made it look easy, didn't I? Okay, now the hard part I can't really show y'all. We got to get the transmission lines in that first. And then we got to get the two dial pin hole. I don't know what they are. Either way, the two holes in the dials lined up. Then we can tighten this up. Look at that, y'all. We're just about there. We're just going to put in these two bolts right here on the top. Once we get those, we'll go ahead and tighten those up. Then once we get those tight, now if those are tight, just snug them. Then you got one more thing down here. I already got transmission lines in, so well, I thought I did. Now they're in, okay. Then you're going to listen for this. Let's see if we can hear it. One-handed, not bad, not bad. Now listen. Hear that click? That means it worked. Okay, but pull it back apart and make sure it don't come loose. That way you don't overheat. I never get this back in the hole that it's supposed to go in underneath here. So you can zip tie it or you can try it, but it won't go. All right, now we're gonna put on a reservoir. Okay, and whenever you do this, I should have showed that. You just slide it in this side and then this side you bring and pop in. You'll hear it click, then you know it's in there, okay? Make sure your reservoir is to the full mark, which this one is. We're good to go. Full mark, can't really show y'all. Maybe I can upside down. There's your full. There's your low. It's close enough. All right, the radiator caps are real bad about going out on these, so you might want to replace those at least every 5-10 years, something around there, whatever. Just replace it, kind of a state of mind. Okay, now all we have to do is put our shield on the bottom. The reason you have that shield is so you don't heat up your transmission lines. That's really the biggest thing I see, so let's get it on there. Okay, we got our shield on there. Nice heat shield going across both sides. 2 bolts in, 1 bolt tried to strip, but it will hold for now. If something happens, I'll put something on there and a bolt on the back side. Either way, all we got to do is put back on our little cover here. Slides down that hole there, if we can see it. Slides in like that. And of course, if it slides in all the way, then in other words, all this won't butt up. So then you got to pull it back up a little bit. Put your clips in there. We only got 1 clip, so we're going to put it in. And apparently it's broken too, so we need to order a couple clips just to have that piece in there. That piece, this really don't matter, it just makes it look better, I guess. Either way, we do have the cover for the top here, but we're going to leave it off. All it does is pop down in there, put a 10mm bolt in. It's just a plastic cover. Keep your fingers out of there is what it's mainly for, I guess. Or to keep a belt from flying all over the place. Heck, I don't know. You all be sure to, if you got one of these cheap torque wrenches like I got, be sure to torque it all the way back down to 0, then put it up so that way you know, it works good next time. Everything's pretty accurate on it. I've had that thing for probably about 10 years now. Well, y'all, there you go. Hopefully it works out for y'all. Hopefully I showed y'all enough on that video to help y'all out a little bit, I hope anyways. Y'all enjoy, have a good day, and we will see you all on the next one.